All right, we're gonna get this started at 6 PM. I'm here, Tom is coming, Meg is here, Barb's here, Chuck's here, Rick is here, Jim's here. Anything for public comment this evening? All right, we're gonna jump right in for our partners in JCEO.
Yeah.
You wanna give an
Yeah.
intro?
We're proud to have Sally Susi here from JCO. She's one of the directors. I'm going to have her introduce her colleague, staff member that I met at the outreach center here in the town of Plattsburgh. So,
Tammy Wells is the outreach coordinator in the town of Plattsburgh, and she's quite busy. So I thought that Tammy could talk about what she does and tell you what she does. And we tried to pick out, like, because it's so busy over there, we took an average month and that's what we bought. You know, how many people she sees in a month.
that's good. I can get that out for her.
And then this afternoon I looked at some of the demographics, you know, from the client tracking, so that you could kind of see some information about the families we serve, because it gets interesting when you start looking at the families we serve. Did I give you that? Okay. And then I talked about the federal poverty guidelines, so I just thought I'd share those with you too, like for the programs that we have. When I go to board meetings, that board members will say, well, now what are the federal poverty guidelines? And I usually like, low, really low. Okay.
Yeah, so I mean, we do transportation for the town, and we have our seniors, we do transportation for, which the number, the average we have in months is about 300 people. So we transport seniors. I just think because they don't really like to ask for a lot, which they need the services, but that's on the lower end. Normally, probably about 8 to 10 people a month.
Just for transportation.
Just for transportation.
This is
And
medical
there's
transportation?
medical
Yeah.
transportation. There's no income guidelines for seniors. For under 60, we do Medicaid transportation. We work with medical answering systems. And then for 60 and over, if they have Medicaid, that's fine, we'll do it. But if for people that are 60 and over that need transportation to medical appointments, there's no income guidelines, because it's a rural transportation. It's funded through the Office for Aging with funds from Clinton County funds. So I would say overall in the agency, we're transporting probably around 180 seniors through, unduplicated through the year. So we are seeing seniors, it's just, they don't like to ask. So the ones that we're transporting are the more vulnerable population that don't have family to help them. We don't transport the seniors. We're working now with, it's going to be, I can't think of which transportation it is, one's with the heart, I don't know what they're called. We care, because we have to provide services to everyone. So the seniors that do not receive Medicaid, that can't ride with a volunteer driver, need an ambulance or something, JCO now is going to be contracting with We Care, so that seniors, regardless of their income, if they need to get to medical appointments, they'll have a wait back there. So those are some of the newer things that we're working on. There's a lot going on. Sorry to interrupt you.
That's okay, no, you're fine.
I'm just curious, now the seniors that are being transported, they don't have vehicles or are unable to drive or things of that nature?
In the county itself, and I think we have a few that are in the town of Plattsburgh, we transport a lot of kidney dialysis recipients, people that are on dialysis. They may have a vehicle, but by the time they're finished with dialysis, they're not,
Prepared to drive back?
can't
yeah.
drive, so.
I have my food pantry, which I serve on the
I
average.
saw that.
It's busy,
Yeah.
30 people a month, or 30 families rather. And this time of year, more. Kids are out of school.
Yep.
And it seems it's getting more and more people all the time. We're having more people moving into the area. I just had a few new families, so we've got kids and, can't let the kids go hungry. Yeah, we have a few seniors that use the pantry as well. We have a weatherization program. And we do applications for people that need to on their houses. And I do.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
I'm just going back to the food pantry. Did those families take advantage of the free lunches?
Yes, and this year, is amazing. This year is, like, it seems to be the best year. Yeah,
Oh, really?
yeah.
You have any thoughts on what you would attribute that to, or just happened to be?
I don't know if it's the weather has been,
Mhm.
you know, we've got the playground there, which is great, and the weather's been nice, and then, I don't know, word just got out.
I think the timing too,
Yeah.
we were able to get that information out earlier.
Mhm.
We've also hit our stride by doing it a couple of years in a
Right.
row.
Exactly.
So it's been kind of built into the system of people that did take advantage of it last year, kind of
Mhm.
They knew about the
promoted it to their
timing.
own.
But it was promoted more widely this year.
Yes.
Yeah, I think you're
Yes.
right.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
agency was it through?
Bunch of them.
Yeah.
I
Was
know.
one of them, the Department of Social Services, Evergreen Townhouse Community, they
Mhm.
promoted it. And then it went over to the United Way, and the United Way got it out to everyone.
Yeah.
They
Yeah, I did see
partners.
that.
Those flyers, those like
Yeah.
colorful
Flyers.
flyers
Yes.
on the front.
Then we
grass
put them up in
area.
all of our
Yeah.
food pantries,
Mhm.
so I think it really, those colorful flyers were.
I did see them out and about, so I wanted you to know that.
Amazing, they do a really good job.
Okay.
People are amazing.
Good to hear.
We do HEAP, you know, with people who, where they meet the guidelines, they have fuel and, which, big help. And we do the Christmas Bureau, I average probably about 200 people every year for that. And that is amazing, the people from the Christmas Bureau just surprise me more and more every year. They volunteer their time, and you go there and they look like they're just having such a good time doing it. I love them. The Christmas or Thanksgiving baskets for people. Right now, we're doing school supplies. I already have close to 50 families, averaging over 100 kids, and I'm still taking applications.
And what are your hours there
8:30 till 4.
every day?
I may have to stay a few hours later this
Mhm.
week, just because of the school supplies on, or next week rather. Because I do have families that work, and, you know, they get done work at 4.
Do you see an increase in the heat, people applying for heat?
I even keep us, yeah.
I think,
But
what
the price of fuel is just,
is really
Yeah,
high.
that's
Crazy.
what I'm saying, there must be a lot more people applying for it now.
For a
But
lot of
they're
people
older,
are eligible. Yeah.
and you know, you'd be surprised, there's people that, like I was telling Sally, that they work for the hospital, and you would think that, you know, in these places, that you would think they can afford fuel, but in reality, I mean, they have insurance to pay, and they've got, so that gets taken out of their check, and
The heat income guidelines are pretty high.
high.
And I guess that's one of the reasons I bought this, because the heat income guidelines are 200% of poverty levels, so it means a family, say a family of 5 can make $58,840 a year to be eligible for heat. So they're fairly, they're fairly good.
One of the documents that the council was provided a while back was Alice.
Mhm.
We're really trying to educate them on that within our community, so
Right.
you're definitely talking.
Yeah, the Alice, we're working with United Way, with
Yep.
John, with the Alice project. Tammy doesn't say much about what she does, but she goes above and beyond for people, and at Christmas Bureau time, or when it's a heat application, she either goes into work early, or sometimes she's there at 6 o'clock at night because people are working, and she'll stay and do whatever she can to get things taken care of, and I give her a lot of credit for that because she puts a lot into what she does. She's good to people, she's a good listener. I think people are really comfortable going, see where they are, and they're really, the other things that I'm not sure how much you know about is the HEAP program in the for the last 2 years, I think 2 years it is now. What they did was the state opened up a program, a clean and tune program, so if anyone that's HEAP eligible could have their furnace clean and tuned done free. So what we found with that is there's been a lot in the town of Plattsburgh, but a lot across the county, actually, the families they work with, that through that program, the furnaces were red tagged. A lot of seniors, a lot of people living in older homes. And as long as they don't have over, I believe like for seniors, it's $6,000 in resources, then they can get their furnace replaced free. So, you know, there's a lot of programs out there that a lot of people aren't aware of. So if you hear something where someone's furnace is acting up and they haven't ever had a clean and tune, if they got heat, you know, even if they didn't, if they appear to be eligible, they can do an application now and they can get clean and tuned done. And that way, before winter, you know, so not in the middle of winter with no heat. And we see a lot of families that come in for heat that have run out of fuel. And I know in the town of Plattsburgh, I can't imagine how many, we must have did 25 or 30 families that we did was we helped them get 20 gallons of fuel, which doesn't sound like much, but helps them get through until their heat benefits called in so their pipes don't freeze or their kids aren't cold. And there's a lot of need, and when I was looking today, because this is what I do for my job, but I was just looking at information and I started writing things down because I found it like of people in the town of Plattsburgh that get services, only 12% are disabled, but 45% of the individuals that we serve are children, which means there's a lot of children out there in low-income families. And I kept looking and then I read that, you know, I found 30% of the families we serve in the town of Plattsburgh are single parents, female parents. We only had 3 men that were single parents, but we do have them. But the number of women living with children, and then 38% own their own homes, which is, I thought that was pretty good. 62% are renters. And then when I was looking at sources of income, only 6% of the people that we serve in the town of Plattsburgh get any kind of TANF funds, which is public assistance, temporary assistance to needy families, which means they have children. And so, and then the other 50% have income from employment. Then we have a 40%, which is Social Security or disability, retirement benefits. It could be self-employment or child support. And 4% with no income, which is the people that come to the door and say they have no income, and we have no way of proving if they do or not. You know, we have that everywhere. But I just thought that those are interesting things to know because the town is putting in so much support for the program, but the program's actually helping so many people that live in the town. So I think that that's important. And then the other thing was 80% of the families that we're serving are at 100% are below poverty guidelines. That's really low. It's not a lot of money to live on. So, and the Alice thing is we see that every day. That project. So, I'm trying to think of anything else.
One of the interesting things we talked about that I got educated on is you're doing some collaborative work in terms of the GED and people coming to the
You
center.
can talk more about that.
Yeah,
because you're
Tammy, I was
comfortable
going to give
talking
you a
about
chance.
that,
'Cause
Tammy.
I think it's important for the board to understand
Yeah,
that
the
too.
board, so the boards can understand.
She's amazing. She just comes in, Kelly said, and she's, I don't know, she's young. She's a young girl. She's maybe 25. But the students that she sees are her age. And she's good. I mean, she's amazing. She praises them. She's on their level, and you know, you would think that they're the same peer group, but I don't. She just praises them, and she's amazing.
I'm not sure how many people you had. I know
There's probably 4 students.
there was 4 students. I think one was doing it from home, and there are people that don't have their GED, and one works Source and CB Tech. We have a MOU with them to, you know, refer people to them and encourage people. But the people that did it were really excited. So if 4 people can get a GED and get a job, you know. Plus, I think on a
She just
positive
made
thought,
them like
they were more comfortable. They didn't
Comfortable.
feel there wasn't any, I don't know, stigma attached to it. Because we talked about it, I think we talked about it. If you have to go like back to a school or, you know, any kind of place like of education, if you dropped out of high school, it's kind of hard. Or if you could just go to a place that you're comfortable with, where people you know that treat you respectfully, it's a lot easier to work toward your GED.
It was really about when Meg, you had literacy volunteers, the director here, we got
Yeah.
talking about literacy and
Yeah.
how this is creating an environment that is not so self-threatening, that they feel comfortable to go and actually fulfill getting their GED
Right.
and then doing it in a place that they feel very comfortable. So,
And if they can't make it in to meet with her, then they can do their work at home and send it in and just meet once in a while. So there's a lot of different options, so I think that's really good.
What agency does she work for?
She was the city tax.
Yeah, thank you both. I don't know if
If there's any
the team has any
questions or
questions.
anything.
Personally, I just think this is nice to have a quick dashboard from time to time and,
Yeah.
you know, check in and, you know, vice versa. If there's, you know, some assistance that we can have through conversations. We certainly have limited resources, you know, that we allocate to, but we appreciate the partnership and the work that you're doing. That, you know, your name is praised, probably more than you hear because, from the community,
From the
residents.
I know, I do.
So it's,
Yeah.
so.
She loves her job, she loves people, and then she'll go, I feel bad, I don't have enough hours in the day.
I'm like, I should have reached
Don't-
out
you
to
shouldn't
so-and-so,
feel
I
bad.
should have done this.
Yeah, I think
I
it's.
literally, I don't sleep.
But-
It's a ticket, I gotta get
Yeah,
home
so,
early tomorrow.
That's
we
why I'm glad you could
appreciate
be
coming
here.
too. We
Yes.
appreciate you
So-
inviting
Yeah,
us.
no, not a problem.
And I
My
try
pleasure.
to basically give you a snapshot
Yep,
of what we do,
you
and
did.
who we serve, so that you'd know. And
We appreciate it.
if you think of anything we're missing or something you'd like us to look into, just tell. Give us a call, give Bruce a call.
Sounds good. Thanks,
Thank you,
folks.
thanks,
All right,
Sally.
thank you.
Stop in again and say hi, okay?
Thank you, Tammy.
Yeah. You take care, Tammy. Thanks for your good work. Yeah, I will.
Just a couple of quick items, and then we have two resolutions that I'm going to ask for some action on, and then I know that we have a lengthy executive session in anticipation. I want to thank Trevor, since he's here too. He has been doing a lot of good work helping to develop an RFP for IT. It's that time that will be coming down the pipeline soon. We want to put that out there, so just giving you a quick update. And then, I won't go through the whole thing, but one of the resolutions that we passed a while ago was allowing for the Badger Company to use the old dump. And they dropped off a certificate of appreciation to allow them to do their exercises there. I know it may not seem like a big deal, but they were extremely appreciative of just having a space to be able to facilitate those exercises. It meant that they could stay local versus going somewhere else. Time locally rather than traveling, they could do more exercises and things. So thanks for passing that and being supportive of it. So very briefly, I believe it's the third or fourth annual community night at SUNY Plattsburgh is next Friday evening. Encouraged to attend, even though it's at SUNY Plattsburgh. They're encouraging people from the greater Plattsburgh region to attend. It's kind of like a pond fest. They'll have some food trucks and some music. So just want to encourage you to consider attending. We got an invite. And the last thing that I'll just bring to your attention is yesterday we did have the first inaugural flight of United Express from the Plattsburgh International Airport, and also the first arriving. And I think that will be to great benefit to the region. So definitely just check that out.
Operated by?
United Express is the main carrier, and then their offshoot participant is SkyWest. So you're gonna see co-branded. You may from time to time see planes that say SkyWest. You may see planes that say United or United Express. Interestingly enough, the number, I'm not gonna capture the exact numbers, but I think roughly it's 70 points of connection through Dulles in the United States and 40 points of connection international. The depth of this that makes it so unique, because everybody was like, well, we were flying to Boston already. There wasn't a thing called code share. What code share is, when you go online and you want to transfer your to the next thing, it saves your seat on the next plane. So if you had, before you used to have to book another thing, if this plane was late and this one was leaving, well, you were you were out of luck, my friends. So it is a pretty significant thing, and we'll see how it develops. So draft resolutions, you will have some drafts for minutes, and then I am going to ask that we entertain a resolution for 1822 NIWEA IMG authorization. Do you have that one, Rick?
Whereas the town of whereas the town of Plattsburgh has prepared a water and wastewater capital plan to benefit the health and safety, sustainability of the economic development of the town. Whereas the town of Plattsburgh has submitted an application for funding to New York State Water Infrastructure Improvement Act and the New York State Intermunicipal Water Infrastructure Grant Program for the following water system improvements: water supply improvement, Quarry Road water transmission main, Bullis Road water pump station improvements, Salmon River service area, and Base Water District water main replacement. Now therefore be resolved, the supervisors hereby authorized and directed to execute the application for funds, and shall all other documents be required to be applicable and be approved.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Was that Costick?
Yes.
Is there a second?
Second.
LaFave, any discussion? I'm just gonna contribute that this is for grants for the funding. It's the same approach that we've been taking like the northern border. I'm gonna use a phrase that Meg hates, but I'm still gonna do it. I'm gonna be cautiously optimistic that we can try to secure some funds. Remember, we had talked about the idea of the way that we're funding our project through the capital plan. We're gonna try to continue to seek money that will also help reduce the costs. So,
Yeah.
all right. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
So does Gary.
What number was that, Mike?
That one is 222. The next one is going to be 223, and it's the engineering services authorized water system improvements. It's related.
Whereas the town of Plattsburgh has prepared a water and wastewater capital plan to benefit the health and safety, sustainability, and economic development of the town. Whereas the town is submitting an application for funding through the New York State Water Infrastructure Improvement Act and the New York State Intermunicipal Water Infrastructure Grant Program. And whereas the engineering agreement for said projects included in the application must be submitted with the application. And whereas the town's engineering consulting group, LaBerge Engineering and Consulting Group Limited, has presented a contract addendum 2018-01 for engineering services requiring the following water system improvements: water supply improvements, Quarry Road water transmission main, Bullis Road water pumping station improvements, Salmon River Road service area, and Base Water District water main replacement. Now therefore be resolved that the supervisors hereby authorized and directed to execute said contract addendum 2018-04 for engineering services required for water system improvements previously identified herein.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Hebert, is there a second?
Second.
Costick, is there any discussion similar in message?
Yes. Were others consulted, or is this just?
This is the formula that we've been using for this. So this was the set design the entire time. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 So does Gary. All right. The last draft is a resurfacing for the West Plattsburgh rec. I'm not planning on moving on that tonight because there's also minutes, and we will not have a meeting next week. It's just Thursday. That meeting may grow a little bit, obviously, because of the week off. I anticipate there may be a couple things, no particular things to my knowledge are coming up, or we can have a brief meeting. I would like to go into an executive session and seek a motion to do so to discuss the ongoing litigation with the city of Plattsburgh. Could you add any additional commentary to that?
Well, the current and the pending.
Okay. And we are going to use this room tonight.
Oh.
Okay. Is there a motion to that effect?
So moved.
Wood, LaFave, the time that we'll enter executive session is 6:23. We are inviting Trevor Cole into the meeting this evening. Is there a roll call, Rick?
Okay, Thomas Wood,
Yes.
Meg LaFave,
Yes.
Barb Hebert,
Yes.
Charles Costick,
Yes.
Mike Cashman.
Yes. Thank you very much. I do not anticipate any action being taken this evening.